saying avoid the area of Mullins Library, and we're going to continue to follow this on air, online. We'll bring you updates. We have multiple crews headed there right now to find out more about what's going on, and so we'll continue to keep you updated. And Mullins Library, it's off Garland Avenue near the Student Union there. So very central area there on campus. Again, they're saying avoid that area, evacuating students from that area right now. And that's what we have confirmed. We don't know whether anyone has been hurt. We don't know exactly what has happened, but we do know that officers are on scene. And again, we have reached out to Fayetteville Police for more information as well. But University Police confirming that there is something going on there. They're evacuating people. And we have our 5 News crews headed there right now. So we will keep you updated here on air and online as we learn more. We'll be breaking in with live updates. And again, we're getting updates really as we speak right now. Just found out about this. Let's see. That alert was sent out, it looks like at 12:28 p.m. So just about 15 minutes ago, this all started. So we're continuing to follow this, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. We're sending crews, making calls, and make sure to stay with us as we'll continue to update you all throughout the day as we learn more on this. Okay, yes, okay, we're going to go back to programming now, as obviously very developing situation. We're continuing to learn more, getting updates in right now. We're gonna regroup, gather more information, and we will keep you updated on air and online in just a few minutes. For now, we're gonna go back to regular programming.
Live from 5 News, this is Breaking News.
Well, we're continuing to follow that breaking news out of Fayetteville. We know that the University of Arkansas has issued an alert to students warning of an active shooter at Mullins Library. So what we're knowing right now is we've just heard from Fayetteville police. They say that their officers are there on scene with U of A police. They're evacuating students. No injuries have been reported yet, but they say that they are clearing Mullins out room by room right now. Now, Mullins is very central on campus. It's near the student union, and they're saying avoid that area. They're evacuating people that are there right now. And of course, raise alert. That's the time. The alert went out on there to students around 12:28 today. Right here, this is video from that area that we're just now getting into our newsroom. You can see the scene there. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on, but you can hear lots of sirens, big law enforcement presence there right now. And again, that alert went out really just about 20 minutes ago almost now. It was about 12:28. And this was the university's emergency notification system that sends messages out to students and staff whenever there's a threat to safety. So again, we're not hearing that there have been any injuries right now. This is exactly what it said. Avoid the area of Mullins Library due to an active shooter reported. Avoid, deny, defend. And again, Fayetteville police have told us they are clearing out the library room by room right now. That's really all of the information that we have, but really every minute we're hearing more from police. We've also reached out to the university. We have multiple crews that are headed there who will give us live reports from the scene, tell us what's going on. Okay, if you hear silence, I'm hearing information coming in, but our crews there are telling us that basically there's a very large law enforcement presence there, which you could see from that video as well. And yeah, police from all over the area you may be seeing driving in that direction. If you live in that area, as you can see in this video, hearing lots of sirens, this is what's going on, that there has been an active shooter reported at the library. Our crews are sending us back videos and pictures we can probably get on here pretty soon. I'm seeing fire trucks in their videos and just a lot of police cars from different agencies helping out there. So again, we will hopefully take one of our crews live here to show exactly what's going on and continue to update you on this both on air and online. Again, we know multiple agencies are helping out. No injuries have been reported. Okay, I'm hearing from a reporter that's on scene. We're hopefully going to take her soon, Laura Castleman, saying that she's seeing state troopers there on scene on campus with their weapons drawn. So hopefully we'll take Laura in just a few minutes. Again, Fayetteville police saying no injuries have been reported up to this point, but that they're evacuating every room of the library right now. And again, this is at Mullins Library on U of A campus, very central near the student union in that just middle area of campus. And they're evacuating every room, saying avoid that area. And that's what we know right now. And we have at least 3 crews that are heading to the scene, different areas. Again, getting videos of multiple law enforcement agencies. Here's a visual of where Mullins Library is on campus. A lot around there. Very central area. Yeah, and we're expecting to hear from that crew that's there on scene in just a moment. Again, Laura Castleman was telling us that she has seen near the library state troopers with their weapons drawn. Very heavy law enforcement presence, evacuating people, keeping that area clear. So we're hopefully going to hear from her or one of our other crews that's there in just a moment on this. Okay. I'm going to Yes, I'm going to recap this in case you're just tuning in. University of Arkansas has issued an alert to students about an active shooter at the Mullins Library there in the middle of campus. And Fayetteville Police is telling us that they have officers there on scene. We also know there are state troopers on scene, multiple agencies evacuating the library. They have said no injuries are reported yet. They told us that, just about 10 minutes ago. As of then, no injuries reported yet. But there is a threat to safety. They're telling people to avoid the area. They're clearing the library room by room right now. And we have multiple crews on scene sending us videos of fire trucks, lots of law enforcement, lots of sirens going on. Here's that alert again from the university sent out to students over text and email. We were getting reports of this to our newsroom as soon as it went out at 12:27 today. And then we were able to confirm with University Police and Fayetteville Police that they were on scene and that this was going on there. Again, thankfully so far they're saying no injuries have been reported. Okay, and we're about to show some new video here from our crews. Jacob Luthi is on scene right now sending us this video. You can just see how many police officers are there near the library, fire trucks. Yeah. And again, this is video coming in from Jacob Luthi. He's one of our reporters. We have Jacob Luthi, Laura Castleman, Claire Everbach, and more headed to the scene. And we are waiting on a live report, I believe from Laura, that should be coming in soon. So we're just gonna stay with this. I think we're about to take a live look. This is a live look at the scene right now. And Laura was telling us she saw officers with their weapons drawn. You can see that here. And this is outside of the library, it looks like. We don't, okay. Yeah, nearby. Yeah. Thank you for bearing with us as we're getting lots of new information in. Very obviously developing situation here as we're learning more. And again, the update that we have from Sergeant Stephen Mock with the Fayetteville Police officers are saying that they're assisting with helping University Police there. Again, he said no injuries are reported yet, but they're clearing Mullins room by room. Now, we just also are getting an update from the city of Fayetteville, which is, okay, I'm being told that they're now having our crews move from that area. But the city of Fayetteville is just confirming again that Fayetteville Police is assisting UAPD with this incident. They say that they are not releasing any more information at this time on it. Again, we have at least 3 crews there from 5 News who have sent us videos of the scene, sent us videos and pictures of officers with their weapons drawn, but they're now being told that they need to move from the area. And again, if you're just tuning in, this all started about 30 minutes ago now when an emergency alert was sent out to students at the U of A over email and text saying that there was an active shooter near Mullins Library. We know that they've evacuated the library room by room. People are being told to avoid that area, which is really just right in the middle of campus there. This is video that one of our crews took. Just, you can see that huge law enforcement presence on the scene. If you live in that area, you're probably hearing a lot of sirens as more are headed to the scene right now. And that is really the extent of the information we have on this right now. But again, we do have 3 reporters on scene who are sending us information as they get it. And we're in contact with Fayetteville police, university police, hearing what they can tell us every minute. Now again, this was an alert that came out at 12:27 today. You can see it here, and it was on the Raise Alert system. So this is the university's emergency notification system. Whenever there's a threat to safety, they send these texts and emails to students, faculty, and staff, and this is the one that they got at 12:27 today. Now I'm hearing that Jacob Luthi is on the scene right now. We're about to go out to him. When he's ready, just let me know. Okay, here's Jacob.
Morgan, I'm ready. Do you hear me? Yeah, Morgan, we're right here at the University of Arkansas. We are right next to Mullins Library. I'm going to go ahead and let Will zoom in. But this is what we're seeing right now. As you can tell, very heavy police presence. We drove down Garland, ASP officers, Fayetteville police officers, every type of law enforcement that you can see here. There's a huge crowd of them. We saw a few people inside Mullins Library, a few officers kind of sweeping through from what we could tell. You have officers grouped over here, kind of in front. Looks like they're stationed out here. We were a little bit closer about a few minutes ago, but they had pushed us backwards, telling us to move back for our safety. This officer right here. So this is kind of what we're seeing right now. Again, heavy police presence. We saw a lot of students standing around earlier, kind of walking away from the university earlier, but this is kind of the look that we're getting right now. Haven't had too much time to look, but what we could tell was officers were on the first floor sweeping it. I've been asking around to see if people had heard anything, if they had heard any sounds, but just being told that they had walked out of the library and just saw a bunch of cops running inside of it. But this is the look that we're getting from right outside. Again, this is the library right where they're standing in front of. That is the library right. That is what you are looking at.
Okay, Jacob, and you were just on campus earlier, right?
Yeah, we were just on campus. We were right by the football stadium. We were doing an interview, made our way back as soon as we got back to the station. But we didn't hear anything. We didn't see anything when we were there. Again, that was by Razorback Stadium. Again, that's just south of where this is right now. So that was what was going on there. But again, we didn't hear anything. We didn't see anything. Obviously, if we would have, we wouldn't have left. But this is the scene right now. Again, you're just seeing probably these officers right here stationed, trying to figure out the next best course of action.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. And again, he was on campus really probably right when this went out, came back to the station. As soon as he got back, we knew that this was going on. He headed right back out. Claire Everbach is also on campus, and I think we're going to go out to Claire right now with what she's seeing from where she is. So Claire, when you're ready.
Good stuff. So, all right, Claire. What mic's going on? Anybody want to do good?
Yeah, I am here at the University of Arkansas, right outside Mullins Library, where there is reports of an active shooter. I'm going to go ahead and let Joel zoom in so you can kind of see what we're seeing here. We don't have any other information right now except that there is a report of an active shooter. And as you can see, there is a heavy police presence. Every type of law enforcement possible is on scene. They actually just asked us to move back a little bit, so we are further away for our safety. The library is blocked off to everyone right now, and students are being asked to stay put. Again, we don't know much right now other than there is reports of an active shooter. We'll keep you updated the more that we know. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much for that, Claire. And of course, this is all happening right as students are coming back to school.
Keep the shot up.
So
Keep it up, yeah.
definitely just we're waiting on more updates for what's going on here. But just to recap from the beginning, this happened around 12:27. That's when students got that Raise Alert, which is the university's emergency system, texting them saying that there's an active shooter at the library, that they need to avoid the area. And we know from Fayetteville police that they're evacuating room by room. We've heard from our crews on scene that there's a huge law enforcement presence. You saw from Claire and Jacob their live looks at the scene. You can see that. And we see that there's some officers with their weapons drawn. We know our crews have been told that they need to move and leave where they were for safety. But again, Fayetteville Police, the last time we got an update from them was about 20 minutes ago now. At that time, they were saying that there were no injuries reported. Darren's joining me right now as well to help with this.
Yeah, I will tell you that on the way here, after this went out about 30 minutes or so ago, that my phone has been blowing up from parents asking, what do I know about this? And this is about as much as I'm telling them about as much as that we know of what's happening there on campus is what you're talking about. But obviously there is a major concern now among parents, family of students who are there on campus. We're just now, in the first half week or almost full week of classes there on campus. And now this has happened. You can see a very large presence of law enforcement, not only University of Arkansas Police, but Fayetteville Police as well. Washington County Sheriff's Office is there, and I would imagine some other law enforcement agencies are headed there as well. And just to recap, okay.
Yeah, and again, this is at Mullins
on.
Library. Yeah,
Okay.
some mic issues.
Yeah, this is live TV at its best, folks. We are also told that the FBI is on the scene in a situation like this. We've also have been told that hospitals have been put on standby, but that is a routine situation in something like this, that these hospitals have to be notified when something like this happens. That does not mean that anybody or anyone has been taken to the hospital. They just get put on standby. It's part of the training that's involved with this, that they go through several times a year. It's just part of that network that when something like this happens, area hospitals have to be put on standby just in case that there is something to this. And we have seen this the last couple of weeks with hoaxes being reported on campus. One that just happened last, Wednesday or Thursday of last week. And we can only hope that that's the case in this situation right now. So we'll see. We're going to await more information from campus police, state police. You can see the FBI there on the right side of your screen is there. Not a lot of activity, at least on this camera shot. You can see way off in the distance there's some guy in some pretty good heavy gear. And then police are obviously walking around campus. But as you mentioned, they have evacuated the Mullins Library. And so that's kind of where we stand right now.
Now, I have an update actually from Laura Castleman, one of our reporters. She's on scene. They're moving further back now. She's been told that she needed to get inside in a room with students because police were telling her that she was in a high-risk zone. So obviously still an active situation.
Sure.
One of our reporters has been basically told to shelter with some students. And all of our crews that were there have been told that they need to move for safety reasons.
And that's a good idea. We are trying as best we can to provide you with as much information as we can. This is a live look now of some students who are leaving that area who presumably have been told to leave or evacuate that part of campus. And so they are moving now away from where this investigation is going. We have been getting pictures from our crews that are on the scene showing this exact thing where they're actually moving students away. There are some pictures that we're getting in on campus that show a number of law enforcement there on campus. And so as best we can, even though we are being told that we have to move back away from it, that's obviously for our safety, but we're doing as best we can now to provide any information that we get from there on campus from either UA Fort Smith, UA Fayetteville Police, or the Fayetteville Police Department themselves.
And of course, we don't know exactly what happened so far. We've been told that there have been no injuries reported, but regardless of what happens, definitely just a very traumatic situation,
Sure.
even if there doesn't end up being any injuries. Again, like you said, just right when school starts, right when more than 31,000 students are headed back to that campus.
Yeah, they're not even in a full week of school just yet. And do we have someone? We're getting getting Jacob. Jacob Luthi has been on campus since this happened, along with Claire Everbach and Laura Castleman. I think we have Jacob now with maybe an update as to what's happening on campus. Jacob.
Yeah, Darren, can I get your name, please?
Jacob Coleman.
Jacob Coleman, student here at the University of Arkansas. Just talk to me a little bit about what you saw, a little about your experience. How were you first notified? Talk to me a little bit about just your experience and where you were told to go.
Yeah, so I was eating lunch in the Union, and my class was coming up, so I left the Union to go start walking to Bell, which is past Mullins. And as I was walking, I started seeing people starting to run, and I thought it was a little weird. And then shortly after that, I got a notification from the university through Raz Alerts that said there was an active shooter in the library and to stay away. But I mean, I was kind of right by it, so I mean, I just kind of turned and walked away with everyone else.
Anything now? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and if we can show just that line of cars right there, of all the emergency vehicles, you see Washington County Sheriff's, unmarked vehicles, ASP, so on and so forth. Talk to me a little bit about anything that you heard, anything that you saw. Was there a noise? Were people running?
I mean, I didn't hear anything, like no shots or anything, of course, but like I saw like the officers running in with weapons drawn. I mean, I've had some people that talked to me and said like there's been all types of things coming from there. People are saying they have told me that they might have people held, or the gun was just dropped, or there's been a lot of different things. I just don't know what really is true yet.
Yeah. And obviously we're working to confirm all that information, but again, look at, there's a lot of traffic here. This is right off Garland here, right in front of the university. Again, we were just moved from Mullins. We were told to move from this way. Talk to me about the library this time of day, in the middle of the day.
It's usually pretty busy. A lot of people eat their lunch in there and study for like, this is kind of like a break in classes for a lot of students around lunchtime. So it's usually pretty busy. We eat lunch in there and just study in between classes. So yeah, pretty busy.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jacob. Darren Morgan, again, we're gonna be here. Sorry, there's officers.
I didn't know they were moving y'all, but y'all are more than welcome to go down Garland.
Okay.
Okay.
But where all those blue lights are, there's plenty of students in large
Okay.
groups.
Darren Morgan, we're being moved to another location. So again, there's this line of cars here, a lot of heavy police presence right here, a lot of students waiting and watching to see what's going on here. But we're gonna be here. We're gonna try to get settled in a specific location so that we can stop moving. But that's the latest information that we have right now.
Okay, all right, Jacob, thanks, and it's good to hear from a student that is obviously okay. We can tell you that Robin Hearn, who was our sports reporter, was there on campus inside Razorback Stadium covering practice for football, and they were told to lock down. And so she right now is locked down inside Razorback Stadium, and she's telling us that she's seeing a lot of police cars going by. She did send me a picture of the parking lot there, but I'm not seeing in the picture that she sent me that shows a lot of police presence there, at least at Razorback Stadium. But again, I would assume that there are a number of other buildings that are on campus that are also locked down.
Yeah. And we know Laura, I don't know if Laura is technically on lockdown, but she is in a group of students. She was told to move, she needed to move inside. So we can't take her live right now because she's in that situation.
We're trying to get her on the phone, though.
Yes, we would like to get her on the phone.
Okay.
Before that, we're going to go back to Claire Everbach, who is outside on campus. So let's go to Claire right now.
Asked to move again away from Mullins Library where there was an active shooter reported. So we're on Maple Street now. I'm going to go ahead and let Joel show you what we're seeing. Behind me you can see all sorts of law enforcement. It's really backed up bumper to bumper with police cars here. Students are still being asked to avoid the area, and everyone is being asked to stand back away from the street for their own safety. We haven't gotten any other update yet, but of course we will continue to keep you posted. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Now, that police presence is going to be pretty much everywhere around Mullins Library, if not around there, around campus, at making sure that obviously all students are safe. Am I hearing Laura on the phone right now?
Yes, yeah, Darren, can you hear me?
Laura, yeah, go ahead and tell us where you are and what's going on right now.
Absolutely, yes. So right when I arrived on scene, it seemed like officers were going inside the building, and then we were immediately told to move into the Union, and we are up here in the Multicultural Center. There's a group of 20 to 30 of us. It seems like kids are notifying their parents that everything is okay, but the U.S. Marshal did just come in and asked for anybody that was there in the Mullins Library that saw anything to go and to speak to them privately. So they are currently doing that. But I am sitting here and staying here and just staying safe right now.
What's the mood of those who are in that room with you right now?
I'm not gonna lie, people seemed pretty relaxed. People are talking. A lot of people are on their cell phones. Obviously, talking to loved ones, but the mood seems relaxed. People are able to go to the bathroom. I know that, so it's they're able to walk around and move, but not too tense at the moment.
Okay, thank you for that, Laura. We also know that we have Bo Russell headed to Washington Regional right now. Again, we have no injuries reported, but this is Laura there on the phone taking shelter.
Laura, if you can still hear me, how many police, what's the police presence up in that room besides what you mentioned, the U.S. Marshal up there?
It is just him. He is the only one up there, and they have gone off into a closed room. I do not see any other police presence. It just seems to be professors handling the rest of the situation, calming kids down.
And they're not letting anybody leave where you are right now, the student union?
I'm not had a confirmation. They've said they can keep us here, but, they said they can't keep us here. So I guess, yes.
Okay.
Where we're staying here out of safety. I prefer to stay here out of safety.
Yes, and I would imagine that's the students that are there are not going to go anywhere until they get some sort of an alert that says it's okay to leave. All right, Laura, thanks. We'll check back in with Laura in just Laura Castleman, who was one of the first on the scene, by the way, and got there and was immediately told to go into the student union under lockdown. And also under lockdown, we mentioned it a moment ago that Robin Hearn, our sports reporter, was out covering Razorback football practice and was told immediately locked down inside Razorback Stadium. And so that's where she is right now. So we have a few of our staff, we have a lot of our staff, well, all of our staff on campus right now. And it's a matter of there's 2 or 3 that can still move around, Jacob, Luthi, and Claire. And then we've got Robin and we've got Laura who are told to lock down.
Yes, and then we also are hearing now, as I mentioned, that is headed to Washington Regional. Again, last we heard from Fayetteville Police, there were no injuries reported, but that last update, it's been almost, I would say, 30 minutes since that.
Sure.
So Bo is on his way to Washington Regional right now. And like Darren mentioned, of course, hospitals are on standby, but that's a routine
part of this.
Protocol.
I would imagine that every hospital that is around this area has been put on notification just in case that there is some injuries involved in this. And like you mentioned, there has not been any report of any injuries in this just yet. And what we still don't know is if there is a shooter on campus, if that shooter is still on campus. We've not heard from any of the police, law enforcement just yet on campus as to what the actual situation is, other than there was a report that came out at 12:30, 12:25, that there was this active shooter and that students need to go on lockdown. And that's pretty much the last thing we've heard from any law enforcement on this just yet.
Now, Robin is just now telling us that she's in her car now, so it seems like they let them out there at Razorback Stadium, but she did say she can talk, so maybe we'll get her on the phone pretty soon.
Well, yeah, we could
well.
let's try to get Robin on the phone and see how she heard about this and what the mood was there. All right, we have Claire Everbach back again to tell us if Claire, have you heard anything new from out there, and what's the situation where you are? Okay. Okay, we're having a little issue with Claire's microphone at this point. She can't hear us either, so we're doing the best we can with getting, there she is. Go ahead, I know she can't hear us, but go ahead and have her tell us what the situation is.
Yeah, she's ready.
Oh, you didn't say, okay.
If she's ready.
It's a very active situation. Thank you for being patient
Okay.
with us. Looks like she got someone.
I'm joined by University of Arkansas professor Tricia Peterson. So to start out, can you please take us through what happened this afternoon and what you've heard?
Really, honestly, I was standing in my office. I looked out, heard the police come up, saw police officers going inside with guns and students running out. We declared active shooter and kind of have been holed up for the past 45 minutes. About 10 minutes ago, somebody came out and asked us to all leave the building to get out of the back of the building. And that's where we are.
So first you were asked to stay in the classroom and then you were asked to move outside.
First of all, we exercised active shooter regimen, which is everybody find a closet or a room without windows or doors, lock up, barricade in. So that's what we did at first, and we were in maybe for half an hour.
Is there anything else that you're being told or there's any kind of protocol that you all need to follow?
Actually, we're all a little confused as to why we're outside, to be honest, why we were asked to leave the building, but we're not being told anything. We don't know anything besides this.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, we are still seeing a large police presence. Actually, now they've brought in officers from Springdale and Rogers too to help out. We'll continue to keep you updated. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right,
Okay.
Thank you, Claire. And we're just hearing from Laura that she's still in a lockdown. It is interesting, as they mentioned, some people are being told to stay outside. Some people, like Laura, are told you need to come
Stay inside, yeah.
So it's hard to tell exactly what's going on. Again, hopefully we'll find out that there haven't been any injuries from this. You just never know in these situations, obviously taking it very seriously, bringing in lots of law enforcement to help.
And I know that you heard her mention that more law enforcement coming in from outside agencies to help at least get control of what's happening there on campus. And I'm hoping that at some point we will hear something that's either preliminary on here's what happened and here's the situation right now. What we just don't know is what is the actual status on campus. Now, just from looking at our live shots there, live camera pictures there, that there doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency in getting people away from these buildings, except for that one live picture that we showed of some students that were walking away. And that there have been some buildings on lockdown, including at Razorback Stadium and some other places as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm just hearing Farmington Schools, we've confirmed, is now in shelter in place. This is out of an abundance of caution, but they do say that it's because of this happening at the University of Arkansas. So other schools in the area are also on lockdown.
We haven't heard from Fayetteville High School. That's right next door to the campus. They're right there by Razorback Stadium, in fact. And we've not heard from them on if they're on any kind of lockdown right now. But yes, you're right. We can tell you that at least in Farmington they are under lockdown as well. So what we need to find out as quickly as we can from local law enforcement, or at least police on campus, is what the situation is as we speak right now. And again, having looked at some of the live pictures that we have been seeing, not a lot of folks, not a lot of movement around that area. Robin Hearn, I believe, is on the phone with us now from inside her car, I guess, just outside of Razorback Stadium. Robin, you're on campus, I'm sure, to cover the Razorbacks practice. So how did this all shake down for you? Okay, we're not hearing Robin just yet, so we're going to work on getting her in just a second to find out what her situation is. Last we saw from her from being locked down there at Razorback Stadium was that she was in her car, so they were at least allowed to leave the stadium itself. And I should know this, but I'm trying to figure the proximity between Mullins Library and Razorback Stadium.
We have a map. I don't know if we can pull that up right now, or eventually, but Mullins Library, of course, near the Student Center.
Okay.
So Razorback Stadium, and it's not far. It's a little off to the side, but you could see that on that map that we had pulled up earlier. And again, we had Jacob Luthi on campus near when this all happened too. He was conducting an interview on campus around when that alert went out, but he didn't notice anything. He came back to the station and then saw what was going on, headed back. But I mean, he wasn't on campus not too far from where this happened. Didn't know anything was going on at the time.
And it was interesting. You could hear the The professors say that they were told to get into a closet, stay there, and then they were told to leave the building, and then they're standing outside, and she's questioning whether they all should be standing outside at this point. We don't know what the protocol is in a situation like that, other than to take shelter as quickly as you can until you hear something from somebody law enforcement wise. And so she heard that, or she was told that they were allowed to go back outside again. So you can see in the live pictures there that a lot of people are still standing outside wondering what the situation is, obviously with a very, very heavy police presence there on campus at Mullins Library and the surrounding buildings around Mullins Library. We haven't heard of any dorms or what the situation is with any of the dorms on campus. If they're under lockdown, presumably they are on lockdown as well, or at least told students to shelter in place after they were told to leave their classroom.
Yeah, and we actually are hearing, Joe Ellison was on campus too when all this happened, and so she talked to, I think, students there on campus. So if we have that, let's go ahead and take what Joe got on campus.
I was walking out of the library and just like 3 cops like pulled up in a car. They all came out with like ARs and shotguns.
Really? What happened after that?
Well, I like basically like jogged over with the guy into the Union because they were telling us to like get in the Union, and then we like sat there for like 20 minutes or 15 minutes, and then eventually just left out the back so I could come here.
Okay. Did you see police do anything?
Just running in. It looked like they were like crouching, like trying not to like I don't even know, like trying to be seen or something.
What were students doing?
Most of them were just confused because they didn't know if it was like a drill or something, and then they eventually just came to the Union, or they were walking around away from the library.
Gotcha. And did you see like anybody with a weapon or anything?
No, I didn't see anyone. Gotcha. I haven't seen anyone so far. I've just heard from my friends that there's a guy. Yeah.
Gotcha. What's your name?
James.
James.
Yeah.
And your last name?
Cheng. Cheng.
And you go to school here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you?
All right.
That was
My
Joe.
goodness.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Joe. And again, he kind of mentioned, and Laura mentioned earlier, that they were questioning people that were in the library about what they saw. So definitely an investigation obviously going on. We just don't know what happened yet.
We haven't been told exactly yet. We do have another, at least somebody on campus that Jacob Luthi has found to talk about this. Jacob, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Darren. I'm joined here by Brady Atkins, student here at the University of Arkansas. Said that you were walking, kind of just left class. Talk to us again, just a little bit about what you saw, a little bit about your experience about this whole situation.
Yeah, so I was just walking to the right of the Mullins Library, and I'm just listening to my music, I guess, and I just see people start running out of the library. And I didn't think anything of it because I just thought it was like an event because it's the first week here, and yeah, I just kind of realized like everything was wrong, and after that I just kind of like took myself out of the area real quick, but I eventually came back and I saw y'all, and it was kind of a crazy experience, but yes sir.
Yeah, a little bit about what you did. When did you get a text on your phone? Did you see the text at all, or did you kind of just, once you saw everybody move, you moved too?
Well, actually my dad called me first, and he was asking about it, and then that's when I checked my phone and saw the text. So yeah, he got called about, like his friend had called him about it, so it was kind of a shocking experience to hear it from my dad first, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Anything else about, was there, we've been asking people this entire time, was there something you heard? Was there something, any noise, any screams? Was it just people running? Were people ducking?
Screams for sure. Everybody was just in a panic mode for sure. I didn't hear any shots myself. I've been in group chats all day, seeing people saying there were shots, people shot at, but hopefully that's not true. I saw what I saw. People were just running out of the library, and it was, I guess it was pretty shocking. So
how close was your class to the library that you said you had just left?
So it's the plant science building, just like maybe like 0.2 miles away, and I had just gotten out of class, like kind of middle of it, and I'm kind of seeing everything happen like right when it started. I guess I was kind of just putting it in perspective.
Yeah.
But
and again, if you don't mind, let's take a couple steps off camera. Darren, and for those at home, just look at the police presence here. We're right here on Garland and Maple, right in front of the University of Arkansas. Fayetteville Fire Department, Washington County Sheriff's Department, Arkansas State Police, unmarked vehicles. You just see all the lights and sirens that are here. Students, faculty, staff, parents. I would just talk to someone. They were on their tour of the campus today when this happened. They said they weren't near the area, but they said this is the first time that they've been on this campus. They were on a tour. So a very kind of active situation right here. And again, working to confirm any information that we get from law enforcement here.
All right, thank you for that, Jacob. Definitely a law enforcement presence that has grown and grown since he's been on scene there. Next, I know we have another interview of someone else we can get on the phone, someone who was evacuated from campus. If we have that.
Yeah, Alec Wright,
Alec Wright.
Was evacuated from campus. Alec, if you can hear us, tell us what happened. All right, so we must have lost Alec. We're also trying to get Robin Hearn, who was at the Razorback camp, Razorback Stadium, that is, and was told to lock down, but she has been allowed to move off, at least out of the stadium and into her car, and that was the last that we had heard contact from her. Laura Castleman is still under lockdown, so to speak, inside the student union, along with several other students as well who were told to go there. All right, let's try Alec again. Alec, if you can hear us, tell us what you heard and what you saw.
Yes, sir. So I was on campus. I was leaving class, and I walked into the library about 2 minutes before that text message went out. I walked in. I saw a friend there. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, did you hear all those people yelling? And I'm, no, I just got here. I haven't seen anyone yelling. And maybe 5 seconds later, 4 policemen came barreling down the hallway. They held an angle maybe 30 feet down the hallway from me. It was kind of a central library, first floor. And they looked at both of us and they were like, get out, get out, get out. Active shooter, active shooter. So me and my buddy took a left, went backwards, and there was a room full of people, and we were like, everyone's got to go. Active shooters, police in the hallway. They were, the police were like fully armed, and it looked like they were holding an angle on the first floor. We left the library, and we saw maybe a couple hundred people just running out of the library in every direction. No one was really knowing where to go. And me and my buddy just went to the parking garage, and I drove off campus with him.
Did you hear anything, gunshots or anything?
So I was probably around the scene for 15 minutes, and I didn't hear any gunshots, just a lot of police yelling. I probably saw 30 police cars and a lot of unmarked vehicles flying towards campus.
Now, did you talk to anyone? You said your friend said he heard yelling. Did you talk to anyone who said they saw or heard anything else?
No, so I had probably walked in the library. It was all within a minute of me walking in the library, getting yelled at and then running out. The police had that first floor locked down, and they didn't want anybody to get hurt or anything, so they were being pretty stern with it. But I only got to talk to my friend, and he had just asked me if anyone was yelling or not.
So you're running off campus. You're heading to your car. How fast are you going?
We were at a good pace, but we had gotten out of the library, I would say, pretty quick. The message that went out, I think we might have been out of the library before I got the text message, and we were out we got to the Union probably 6 minutes, jogging over there, and then just got off campus as fast as I could, safe and sound now. But shocking scenario for sure.
We're glad you're safe. Definitely very scary situation. I'm sure as soon as you walk in, getting a text like that at the building that you're in, having an alert like that, I'm sure it was very startling for all of you.
Have you talked to your family and let them know you're okay?
Yeah, I've chatted with most people, called some of my friends, made sure everybody's all good, and I don't know anyone that's been negatively affected that wasn't in an emotional way yet. But I'm hoping everybody's good. Going to be praying for those people that were negatively affected.
All right, Alec, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for calling in, and giving us at least an insight as to what happened inside the library. We are still waiting to hear from law enforcement agencies who are there, and you saw that live picture there with state police, Springdale, Rogers, Fayetteville, University of Arkansas Police, FBI, U.S. Marshal. Just about every law enforcement agency is there on campus. Again, that's protocol. Anything like this happens on any campus, you're going to get law enforcement from about every agency that is around this area to converge on whatever campus, high school, or college, just to be a part of helping out with this investigation. And go ahead if you do.
Yeah.
Okay, finally got something from Fayetteville.
Yeah, so this is from Fayetteville schools. We told you earlier Farmington schools was sheltering in place. We now know all Fayetteville schools are in secure status. That means that nobody can come and go from any of the campuses. It looks like we have an email here from the school district that's saying that because the University of Arkansas is dealing with an emergency situation, they say they don't know the details, but they are not letting anyone in or out of any Fayetteville school buildings right now.
But it does though say that the school day will continue. So if you have students there at any Fayetteville school, they are safe on campus. They are no one's being told to leave or can leave, and you cannot go on campus until the all clear is given. Claire Everbach is again back on campus. Let's go back out to her and find out what she has right now. Claire.
Yes, we are still on Maple. Mullins Library is behind us. Right now, I'm joined by Connor, who's a freshman here at the University of Arkansas. Where were you when you found out that this happened?
I was in my class. I was probably about a 2-minute walk from the library, and our teacher was just going through some problems when we got a call to the class saying that there was an active shooter on Mullins Library, and the class just kind of erupted into murmurs. And we didn't know whether this was a drill, if it was going on. And someone just asked the teacher what was happening. And he just kind of barricaded the door. We all sat in there until we got the go-ahead that was okay to go. And we had to go out the back exit and avoid the library area.
Can you tell me what was going through your mind when you heard about this news?
I was just worried, like the first thought was, like, how am I going to tell my mom what happened, And I just didn't know what to do, I was wondering if all my friends were safe, everything. I was worried about my family and friends in general.
Have you been able to get in contact with your loved one since then?
I have. I've been talking with her, and she knows the whole situation of what's going on right now. She knows that right now I'm safe, and all my friends are safe.
So you're a freshman, so you just arrived to the University of Arkansas. So after this happening, what does this make you think about safety on this campus? How do you feel?
I mean, I think just stuff happens in general everywhere. I've seen stuff happen like this on other campuses, but it's definitely a shocker. But I don't really know if this will affect my view of the campus in general. I've been up here a couple times, and this is the first time I've ever seen something this drastic happen. So it's not affecting my thoughts too much, but it has me worried a little bit.
Thank you so much, Connor. We appreciate it. We don't have really much of an update for you right now. There was a text sent out to students from the university that did say there are multiple reports of an active shooter on campus. We'll keep you updated. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, we were just getting that same thing that was sent out about 10 minutes ago, that they were responding to multiple reports around campus. We'll see how that shakes out as well.
And we've been trying to get Robin Hearn on the phone. I think we have her now. She was on campus covering Razorback practice. She said she was on lockdown inside Razorback Stadium. She's since been allowed to leave and go back to her car. Robin, if you can hear us, just tell us what happened from your perspective when this all started happening.
Yeah, guys. Like you said, I am in my car and I am safe. I'm still in front of the stadium right now seeing what's going on. We were just done with Pittman's weekly presser that he does during the season, and we got reports from some of the other reporters that there were I think they have this kit. One second. There were reports of an active shooter on campus, and they currently were just patting down what looked like to be a student. We have some cop cars that are cutting off Stadium Drive right now, but other than that, all I've been seeing is cop cars just driving past. Not much has been said as of yet, but all I know is that right here at Stadium Drive and Maple, is being cut off right now by some cop cars, and that's all I can see at the moment. But there have been multiple cars driving past, going toward where the library is.
And that you sent us that picture, Robin. You're saying it maybe looked like they were trying to get someone out of a car there?
Yes, they had a white car here that they had all the doors open, but right now he has been let go. I see the car driving off right now, so they are letting, and all the cop cars are starting to leave from Stadium Drive, so that is all clear. We are clear here at the stadium. Don't know about anything closer toward the library yet, but Stadium Drive and Maple is getting cleared up right now.
All right, so you were inside Razorback Stadium, inside the media room there. Were you told you were told to stay in there for a certain amount of time?
Yes, yeah, they made sure that none of us were leaving, and they did allow some students that were walking past when the alert came out to go inside the lobby. And once, if a car came up, whether it was a friend, a boyfriend, or a parent, they did allow those students to leave. But for the most part, the athletic department was making sure that we were safe. I know a lot of the other writers and reporters are also still at the stadium at this time, but they weren't letting us leave until they knew that everything was getting cleared up.
Okay, and you're in the parking lot now. Are you able to leave the parking lot at all?
Yes, I can leave, yes.
Okay.
But I'm currently still in my car just waiting to see what else you guys need from me today.
Okay, all right. Robin, thank you so much. She did send us a picture of a student in some handcuffs. We're not going to show that. Apparently that's the one that was let go, or at least able to drive off.
Someone sent us that picture.
Oh, is that one? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Laura Castleman is inside still the student union there. Lauren Spencer, sorry. Lauren Spencer is on campus now. Lauren, where are you, and what can you tell us?
Yeah, we're here at the intersection of Maple and Garland. This is really where the heart of law enforcement is congregating right now. We have multiple agencies here. This is the spot where everyone's meeting, trying to figure out what's happening here. I'm speaking with two freshmen here. Tell me your names.
Finley.
Connor.
And they kind of saw this whole thing go down. When did you guys realize that something was wrong?
So I was walking towards the Union, and I passed by a guy, and he was like, "Don't go that way, there's a shooter, there's an active shooter." And I was like, "What?" And I thought he was joking. I keep going, I passed the fence, and there was like 4 cop cars outside the library, tons of people running out, flooding out. I was just like, whoa, this is real. This is very real.
Yeah, what about you, Connor?
I was in class. I got a call from them and like a voicemail that said that there was an active shooter. I didn't know if it was false or not. And we're like talking to the prep, we're like, hey, there's an active shooter report. He's like, well, let's just barricade here if y'all can leave or whatever. I'm like,
we're gonna have to wrap up here. We're gonna get an update from officials right now. We're gonna send it back to you guys, Darren and Morgan in the studio. We're gonna hear from police right now. They say they do have an update for us, so just give us a few minutes. We're gonna get new answers.
Okay, thank you so much, Lauren. We'll go back to her in just a minute, or wherever we can get that update.
Okay.
Now we have Bo Russell, as we mentioned earlier. He's out.
Okay, we're about to start a news conference, or at least get an update from law enforcement who are there on campus. They were forming right there next to where Lauren is actually there on campus, and we're just waiting word to when that will start. And Fayetteville Police Department, I believe, will be the agency that will give the update. And Lauren is right there, and so as soon as we hear from Lauren when that will start, we will actually get you out to her. I'm going to plug this in just a second. My computer's about to go dead. And so as soon as we hear from Lauren, we will let you know what the situation is. So let's go back out to the news conference now, where we could get some information.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were Nerf guns. Yeah, we get a picture of them sitting on the curb.
Okay, it looks like that's about to start right now. Thank you for being patient with us as we're waiting to see exactly when we're going to get this update. But it looks like it's about to start.
We're good.
Okay.
Lauren's there right now.
I think
Give it
she's
to
ready.
like 150 if y'all need me to.
Well, I think they're what they're.
I really don't have much.
So
what they're trying to do is to coordinate all of us to do this all at one time so they can give out as much information as they can. Although you just heard her, there's not much to say. What I'm hoping is that they'll give a status as to where, what the situation there is on campus, if there is a shooter that is still on campus, and details like that. So we're going to wait for her to start here in just a second to give us an update as to what's happening. But just joining us, it's been about an hour.
Natalie Eucce, Natalie, last name Eucce. I'm a corporal with the Fayetteville Police Department in the Community Policing Division. Does anyone want to tell me where to look through this whole thing? Is that good with y'all? Yep. All right, I'm going to look this way. All right, around 12:30 this afternoon, we received a call of an active shooter at David Mullins Library at the University of Arkansas campus. Since then, we've responded to multiple different calls at multiple different locations surrounding the university. There are no confirmed gunshots. There are no confirmed injuries. We have nothing confirmed at this time.
Any arrests?
No arrests.
Can you tell us why some students are being asked to stay in the buildings they're in, some students are asked to stay outside or staying outside?
Yeah, absolutely. So it obviously is a developing situation. When we have something like this, at first it came in at one specific location, right? So we need to keep a safe distance from that location, and just having students move about might be unsafe. So we set up a perimeter that can be keeping students inside, that can be evacuating. As this has developed, more calls were coming in at different locations, so that obviously changed. Y'all saw that as the media, you were pushed back, put in different locations. It's a developing situation.
We received tips about a person, vehicle of interest, anything at this point.
We've had multiple different calls, nothing confirmed. If somebody has been detained, pulled over, anything like that, no arrests have been made, but we are going to follow up with every single tip that we get because obviously safety is our priority.
Are there more than one scene? I mean, is it 2 crime scenes or just one crime?
Right now there are no crime scenes, so nothing has been confirmed. We have no confirmed gunshots, no confirmed injuries. There are no crime scenes. We've received multiple different calls, I believe 4 or more, on and surrounding the university. So one was a vehicle. We detained suspects or subjects, but that was unfounded.
We're receiving a tip about an arrest at the football stadium. Still no arrests?
No arrests have been made.
Is it safe to say that Fayetteville PD is taking the lead on this right now, or with all the agencies?
No, University of Arkansas, it is their jurisdiction. As you can imagine, they have a lot less manpower than us, which is why I'm out here speaking, but this is a University of Arkansas. We are assisting.
Can you tell us about the police presence out here? We're seeing a lot of different agencies. Tell us about who is out here responding to this.
Everyone. So if there's ever a call on shots fired, we are in a very populated city. We're going to have everyone here, as we do. Fayetteville Police, University of Arkansas Police, Washington County Sheriff's Office, Arkansas State Police. You're going to have FBI, HSI, multiple different agencies. Again, nothing has been confirmed. Multiple different calls, multiple locations, nothing confirmed.
We just saw a video of an arrest, or not an arrest, but maybe someone being detained over on Stadium. Are you guys detaining people that...
So let me be very clear. If you're put into handcuffs, you are detained. That does not by any means, that does not mean you're being arrested, right? So if we get a call that there's a suspicious vehicle, that they're involved in something, you may be detained and released. I believe that's what happened.
Could someone face consequences if there was no evidence of a shooting here?
That really depends. Swatting calls happen a lot, and filing false report is a crime. So,
are you guys working to clear every building?
Yes, absolutely. So anything, anywhere where reports were made, we will evacuate and clear everything, and we will follow every lead.
Aside from the library, where would the other locations those calls were coming from?
You'll have to look at our call list. It's public record. Yeah, I don't have that right now. You guys have anything else? I'll come in if I have any other updates, okay?
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, so the Fayetteville Police giving us an update as to the situation there. The first call came in at 12:30 this afternoon, or this afternoon. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes or so ago. The first thing she said, no confirmed gunshots, no confirmed injuries. multiple calls had come in on different parts of the campus about there being an active shooter on campus in several different locations. They have gone to those locations and still cannot confirm if any shots have been fired. UAPD is the lead investigator on this. They are clearing every building as to where these reported active shooter calls came in, and they cannot confirm that there has been any shots fired or if there is even an active shooter involved.
Well, Bo Russell, as we were mentioning earlier, he's at Washington Regional. Again, no injuries have been confirmed, but Bo said that there's been some activity there, which we know some of that is standard protocol in these situations. So we're going to go ahead and go out to Bo right now with what he can tell us there.
Morgan, yeah, hi Darren. We're here in front of Washington Regional, and like you said, there's been some activity, but I spoke with a spokesperson for the hospital who told me they know as much as we do, right? They're really not getting much information right now either. So I can see right here in front of the ambulance bay, there are a lot of medical personnel and staff kind of standing around waiting. I think they're on edge too, waiting to hear something. But in terms of activity, you know, we've heard ambulances, but we've been here about 20, 30 minutes. No ambulances have pulled up. So as of right now, I think they're just as much in the dark as we are. But as soon as we have an update from the hospital, I'll be sure to share it with you guys.
Thank you, Bo, for that. Looks like we're getting another update. It's from Fayetteville Public Schools.
Fayetteville Public Schools, law enforcement requesting that the following schools remain in secure status until further notice. AALPS, Asbell Elementary, Fayetteville High School, Leverett, Ramey, Washington, and Woodland schools. All other schools will return to normal status at 1:45. So about every other school within the Fayetteville school system besides AALPS, Asbell, Fayetteville High School, Leverett, Ramey, Washington, and Woodland have been allowed to go back to regular status on the Fayetteville campus. That was about 8 minutes ago. They were allowed to go back to regular status.
And again, that update that we just got from Fayetteville Police couldn't confirm much. They said no confirmed gunshots, no confirmed injuries. There have been no arrests. They did say that there have been some photos circulating of them detaining some people, but they said that detaining someone does not mean that they were arrested. If they see a suspicious vehicle, they get a report about something, they're going to investigate it. And so that's what people have been seeing pictures of, but they did want to emphasize they did not take those people into custody. They let them go. They've not been arrested.
As part of what she talked about a moment ago, there have been at least 2 other that we know of reports of active shooters, an active shooter on campus, besides the one that was reported at Mullins Library. Fayetteville Police, all police have gone to each of those locations and cannot confirm any kind of active shooter involved. There have been no confirmed gunshots and no confirmed injuries in those other 2 locations. So we know of at least 3 different locations on campus, including Mullins Library, where there was an active shooter that was reported. Police gave the update a moment ago saying that they cannot confirm any shots fired, and of course no confirmed injuries just yet. And with the detained part of this, they may have detained a few people, but they have since been let go after being obviously determined that they were not part of any of this situation. Brought up an interesting point, Lauren did, when she asked her about the consequences of doing things like this, that yes, there's been a lot of swatting calls, and we talked about this a little bit ago, on some other campuses where this was a hoax. And we're certainly hoping that's what this situation is, although the consequences for doing this can be very strict.
Yes, of course. And so Lauren, we're going to go back out to her. We were talking to her right before that update from Fayetteville Police, and we'll go back out to Lauren right now.
Yeah, we're still at the corner of Garland and Maple, the intersection here. This is where all the law enforcement are congregating. We're seeing state troopers, we're seeing Springdale Police, Rogers Police, Fayetteville Police, obviously, UAPD. This is everywhere everyone's kind of meeting up. Every officer we've seen, almost every officer we've seen walk by is armed, that is going into the scene. We did just talk with Fayetteville Police a second ago. They said that they they were called in for the report at Mullins Library, but they don't. That's the only place they know of so far right now that we know of as well.
Lauren, look, just real quick, I know you're an alumni. You went to school there, graduating just recent, the last couple of years. What are your thoughts about this happening, or at least a situation like this happening on campus?
Yeah, Darren, this is really sad to see as someone that graduated only 2 years ago from this campus, a campus that I love so much, that is putting everyone in disarray of what's happening. I have people texting me from all walks of life, people that I knew going to school here saying, hey, hope you're safe, hope that you know something that I don't know, hopefully you know what's happening, and I can't really give them much information. We don't have a ton of information right now, but it's sad to see. It's sad being back here for a situation like this.
Lauren, do you remember a time when you were a student there? We know they send out these alerts anytime there's an emergency situation. Do you remember a time like this when you were a student when something like this happened?
Definitely not, no. The 4 years I was a student, we received alerts for weather, we received alerts for maybe some illnesses. I know there was a measles outbreak whenever I was here at school, but we never received an alert like this. So to be a student sitting in class, getting an alert on your phone like this, it has to be a feeling that I can't even imagine.
All right, thank you, Lauren. And Darren, again, as we were talking about earlier, even if, like you were saying, there's been a lot of these situations where it turns out that it was a hoax. And like you said, we hope that this isn't really happening. But as Lauren asked during that press conference, are there going to be consequences because you put all these people through such a traumatic situation, just the not knowing, the chaos, just the fear of a situation like this? Are people going to be held accountable if that was the case?
Yeah, and if obviously if the investigation will lead to whomever made these calls to police to alert them of an active shooter on campus, and you heard Lauren talk about how sad this is for this to happen on campus, and you just mentioned that the chaos that this actually causes for not only the students there on campus, but you have faculty, you've got staff, and just as important, you have the family who send their kids to this campus who may not live in this area, are now wondering what in the world is going on. Where is my student? Are they okay? Where is my child? Are they going to be okay? Are they okay now? What is their mental status because of a situation that you see on TV almost weekly when situations like this happen, and now if this turns out to be a hoax, that makes it almost as bad. And that's the sad part about this is you've got all this law enforcement out here. You've got staff, faculty, parents, all in an uproar now, all in panic mode, wondering what in the world is going on. And with police coming out and telling us no confirmed gunshots, no confirmed injuries, that's the good news with this. The bad news now is how is this going to play out mentally for all these folks who are on campus?
Yeah, and we have tens of thousands of students at the U of A, and also faculty, staff, but then also it's affecting Fayetteville Public Schools, the parents of those kids.
That were on lockdown, yeah.
Hearing that your child's school is on lockdown because of a situation like this, there's so many people in the Fayetteville community that now are on high alert and just very afraid in this situation.
And just to repeat about the Fayetteville Public Schools, what we told you about Farmington schools under lockdown now, no one in or out. But they will continue class as normal. We can tell you that every school in the Fayetteville Public School District except AALPS, Asbel, Fayetteville High, Leverett, Ramey, Washington, and Woodland schools they're no longer under lockdown. They have been allowed to resume normal status. Now, those other schools that I mentioned are still under lockdown. Their day will continue, but nobody will be able to get on or off campus until they have been given the go-ahead or the message that that everything is safe, and then they can let people on and off those elementary campuses and middle school campuses there in Fayetteville.
Yeah, and it's interesting. just today, within the last few hours, we're hearing in Iowa and other states there have been hoaxes, reports of an active shooter on campuses that were false. So again, happening all the time. So obviously the police have to take every time there's a report like that, this is the response that you're going to see, because they have to take it so seriously. But it is interesting that we've had multiple reports from other states of hoaxes about an active shooter on college campuses.
That's just today.
Yes.
Last week there were 2 or 3 that we reported on from, I believe, up in the north and the northeast, where there was active shooters on campus, and it turned out to be a hoax as well. Police train for this. Not only do the UA Fayetteville PD police train for this, but they get everybody else law enforcement-wise all connected together, and they practice this. They train for this, because when something like this does happen, you can see how much police presence there are, and how quickly those police officers and different law enforcement agencies got there, how quickly they got there, how quickly they set up perimeters, how quickly they got students secured, at least in a lockdown mode, or told to leave a building. Okay, so and then so when something like this does happen, you know that the law enforcement is going to do all they can to make sure that everyone is safe. Lauren Spencer is back again on campus with some more students who may have seen what's happened. Lauren.
Yeah, we are still on campus. We're at the intersection of Garland and Maple, and I spoke with some girls here who they were in class when this happened. They were put into lockdown. Kind of tell me, what building were you in? When did you realize that something was wrong?
We were in the HOAC building, and she had gotten like the Raz alert text and showed it to me, and then everyone started getting the text, and the teacher got a phone call. Everyone started kind of freaking out.
What happened after that? Did they make you guys stay in the same room, turn off the lights? Talk me through that process.
A majority of us moved into the closet, like a bigger closet with all the mannequins, and then the rest of the class went to another closet. And
so the classroom is like a room in a room, and then there's a side closet, and us and a few girls went in the closet and decided, we just sat down, stood up, it was just, if anyone could fit, come inside.
What was going through your head when this was all happening? How'd you guys feel?
I was just scared because I didn't know where the shooter was, and everything's kind of hearsay, so everyone's texting each other oh, there's 2, there's 3 shooters, it's right in the building next to you. And then we started hearing yelling of we didn't know if it was police or if it was a shooter, yelling, telling people to get outside, so
come out
put your
now.
hands up, we're just it could be a lie too, someone knocking on could be a lie.
You guys were in lockdown probably for the past hour, right? How did that feel, being in lockdown for an hour, not knowing what's going on outside?
In the beginning, I obviously was super shaken up. I didn't know, I was shaking, and then it finally calmed down a little bit, and everything was quiet, and then the yelling started again, and I think everyone's faces, everyone got white. Everyone came to realization, is this a shooter or is this a cop, helping us? We have no idea.
That's when it felt real.
That's when
scary.
Everyone, got, down, lower, and, super quiet. Everyone was very shaken up. It was just, a whole, insane thing. You would never have to think, someone has to actually witness and go through that.
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking before, you guys are freshmen, you guys are sophomores. This is the second week of school. How does this make you feel weary for being on campus? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, going even to class tomorrow sounds really risky or scary, or just being out in the open. It definitely makes me nervous of walking on campus alone, and just in general to class, because you just never know what could happen.
Yeah. Well, what does the rest of the day look like for you guys? Just gonna
canceled. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I
Check up on all my friends,
make
sorority
sure everyone's
sisters,
okay.
Well, thank you guys for speaking with us. We're going to continue to be down here and monitor any updates that we have come through. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Lauren. We're hearing that there might be another update soon. That's coming from Robin, who's still there on campus as well. And I know if we have Bo ready, he's at Washington Regional. Do we have him? Yeah,
okay.
So Bo, we were talking to Lauren about this earlier. You're also an alum of the University of Arkansas. What are you thinking from your perspective, just from being a student, knowing kind of the training that goes into being prepared for a situation like this. What are you thinking right now?
Morgan, yeah, I mean, when you're on campus there as a student, the University of Arkansas, and I'm sure this is the same at a lot of college campuses around the country, it's a very tight-knit community, especially in Fayetteville and Northwest Arkansas. You really feel at home there. And so this isn't something that crosses your mind much as a student. You know, as a journalist, I follow these stories, you hear about it. But, and I'm sure it's the same with everyone. You never think it's going to happen at home, right? So I was just going about my day as most people, you know, when I got this notification, and it really felt like a sucker punch to the gut. You know, it's just like, oh no, you know, you just, it's not something you ever want to hear, especially at home, and especially at the University of Arkansas. It really is a place that feels safe for so many people, kind of like a home ground, you know, and so it was just awful to hear that. You know, we're getting reports that so far no reported gunshots, no reported injuries. I'm here at the hospital. We've been here about 40 minutes. No ambulances have come through yet. There was a group of nurses kind of grouped around the ambulance bay. They've gone back inside. So I haven't heard anything from the hospital as of yet, but so far pretty calm here.
Yeah, sounds like they were on standby, which, as Darren was mentioning,
Yeah.
seems like it's a standard thing when there's reports like this.
Yeah, you know, I think that's right. I think I spoke to a spokesperson for Washington County Hospital, and she told me that they knew just as much as we did. And so, you know, she was heading to the hospital. I think everyone was getting ready for something. So far, nothing has happened here, and so hopefully that's good news.
All right, Bo, thank you.
All right, Laura Castleman is been inside the student union there for the last, hour or so after being on campus, one of the first ones to be on campus after this happened, and was told to go up in the student union for safety there. Laura, what can you tell us? Oh, now she's back outside. All right, so Laura's back outside. When were you allowed to come back?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so recently they told us that we are still technically in a lockdown, but they cannot keep us there legally. A couple students did leave, but the majority of students did stay in that area. So upon my arrival, it looked like I was almost the first on scene. Police and state trooper and Fayetteville police were on the scene. And then the staff came out and they said that they were putting the safety of anyone on campus first, and they pushed us all into the union, into a room, and it kind of had us just sitting there for a little while. The tension, there was a little bit of tension. Everyone was a little bit of scared, but students were shaken. They were kind of consoling each other, obviously on the phones, talking with loved ones to make sure everyone was okay. But again, we have no confirmed shots or no confirmed injuries. Myself, I was scared for just a little while. Of course, being an alumni here, you would never think that something like this would happen, but you never really know. Back to you.
Thanks. All right, thank you so much for that, Laura. We have a lot of alumni on campus today, hearing
Yes.
from them. And of course, another thing is this happened at lunchtime near the student union, which is where a lot of people were eating lunch, so a crowded time of day. Definitely just a lot of people being told different things, what to do, a lot of chaos on campus today.
We were told just a moment ago through our messenger from Robin Hearn that there might be an update from Fayetteville Police, and that could be coming up in just mere moments. If you didn't see or hear the update that was given about 15 minutes or so ago, that there were 3 different reported active shooter calls that came in to UAPD, or it went out to the students. One was there at Mullins Library. We don't know about the other 2 where they were on campus. Local law enforcement showed up, and a bunch in a very short amount of time, able to tell us that they cannot confirm any gunshots or any injuries at either of any of those 3 locations where there was an active shooter reported. You can still see a very large police presence there. Multiple calls, as we said, that came on campus, at least 3 that we know of. UAPD is basically the one taking over this investigation, although they will get a tremendous amount of help from different law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and the U.S. Marshal. And they have pretty much cleared out and made sure that there was nothing in any of those buildings where those active shooting situations were reported, starting at about 12:30 this afternoon. The first call came in at 12:30 as they were investigating that call at the Mullins Library. They got 2 more calls, sent law enforcement to those locations, cleared the area, made sure students and faculty were safe, but could not confirm any gunshots or any injuries involved with any of these active shooter reports.
And since then, they mentioned in that update we got from Fayetteville Police earlier that there have been some pictures, reports circulating of them pulling people out of cars, searching people, even people being handcuffed. They said they have detained some people, but detained does not mean arrested. They haven't arrested anyone. Basically what they've said is if they got a report of a suspicious vehicle or a suspicious person during this time, of course they're going to investigate it. That means, and Robin also saw someone being pulled out of a car.
Right there by Razorback Stadium, yes.
But again, no one has been arrested. This is all just part of their investigation.
Now it looks as just from this angle that there are some people who are, and I'm not quite sure what we're looking into, that there are some people allowed to go back into where this law enforcement presence is. Not sure how to read into that, but there are obviously students that are walking both ways, but you can see some who an hour ago were not walking in that direction, and they're allowed to, at least being allowed to walk back in to that location. So I wonder how close we are as to get an update as to what the situation is at this moment. And if they are going to tell us that there was nothing confirmed with any of these reports, and that to me would probably be the best news we could get today, that this, as sad as it is, that it's a hoax, and then the investigation turns to, all right, we got to find out who did this.
Yes, and we actually just heard that there was also a hoax reported at the University of Tennessee today. That's after several that have happened at universities all across the country today. So it seems likely that this could be one of those. Fayetteville Police just have not confirmed.
Exactly.
All we know is that there are no confirmed gunshots, no confirmed arrests, no injuries.
It's a large campus, and so they've got to do what they have to do to make sure that everybody's safe and that nothing did take place before they can officially come out and tell us that that nothing happened here, that this was a hoax. And we can also tell you that Morgan was talking about this about 40 minutes ago, that Farmington schools were on lockdown, and that has since changed.
Yes, they've lifted that non-emergency shelter in place at Farmington. So all things are normal at Farmington schools. They just told parents that, it looks like about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, and if we're assuming if parents want to go get their child at Farmington, that they are now able to do that if they wanted to take their child out of class a little sooner. Okay. All right. Joe Ellison was actually there on campus, and we heard from her a little bit ago with the interview with that student. Joe, tell us what you're seeing and hearing right now.
Yeah, we're right here at Maple, Darren and Morgan, and I'll tell you something. Whenever this happened, I was actually here on campus at the University of Arkansas dropping off my daughter at her dorm room whenever that alert came in and we got those breaking news notifications. So we sort of locked down there in that area. But right now what's going on, I want to tell you because I just got an interview, an update with police. Take a look. I'm going to pin over here. Will, can you get a shot of this here? We got a lot of police coming out of this area right now. They're wrapping this up. I just spoke with a public information officer with Fayetteville Police who told me that now University of Arkansas Police are handling this call. Of course, they are here providing assistance, and they say that it looks like they're wrapping up their initial assessment of this. They have found no active shooter situation here, no injuries, which is great news. Now, I did ask Fayetteville Police, I said, you know, there is a lot of police on this campus. Who all is here? What is the magnitude of law enforcement that arrived to this? And they said, everybody within earshot of hearing this call came out. actually joined in here at this area, just providing any assistance they can. I mean, you guys have seen all of that video, all of the live shots coming out of this area. I mean, there's no guesstimate to how many law enforcement from state, city, county, even federal law enforcement have responded here on scene. So anyone with earshot of hearing this call go out actually arrived here on the scene. Now, again, police just telling us an interview. A lot of folks coming, a lot of police coming out of this area carrying those weapons, some of them getting in their car and leaving. Still a lot of students, though, coming out of that area, being evacuated. No active shooter situation at this time. Fayetteville Police says it looks like they're wrapping up their initial call and their work with the University of Arkansas Police, but they say, there's still a little bit of work to be done here because there's still a lot of unanswered questions of how this call came in, what happened, who made it, if there's any truth to any of it, who saw what first. So they're still going to be looking at that. But Darren and Morgan, I'll go ahead and send it back to you right now. Fayetteville Police say no injuries, no active shooter situation at this point, which is great news.
All right, so Joe, take your reporter hat off, put your parent hat on. Dropping your child off at school first day, that's got to be a little unnerving.
Yeah, absolutely. I had just dropped her off at her dorm room, went right down the road whenever that alert came in, and she called me and said, hey, this is what's happening. And of course, I'm not leaving. I was going to leave and go home. I turned right back around, went to get her, got her with me. I'm not letting her out of my side, of course. I mean, any parent would do that if they're here. So I just waited until the situation, was safe. Glad that I had her with me and that I was here because I live about an hour from here. I called my husband immediately, of course, telling him what's going on because I knew at any moment he was going to get those breaking news alerts. He was going to start hearing from people that he works with what was going on. So, of course, I called him immediately and he's like, yeah, absolutely. You stay with her until this is all over and call me and let me know if you guys need anything. And, I just think about all of these students that are standing around here, all of them on their phones with their parents right now. I mean, I can't imagine, what their parents were thinking whenever that alert comes, across their phone or their student calls them and says, what's going on. It's hard when you're not here with them, right? I mean, it's a bit heartbreaking. You want to be there and some parents can't. But thankfully, the best news of the day that no active shooter situation and no one is injured. So that's great news.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Joe. I mean, thousands, tens of thousands of parents in that same situation as her, a lot of them out of state getting these texts. So I'm sure just tuned in, waiting to hear any update, terrified of what was going on. So of course, good news that there have been no reported injuries. That's the most important thing. But not a good day for parents and students, regardless of what happened.
Especially when it first was reported at 12:30 this afternoon, and from what it appears, and we're getting this, obviously, what Joe had just talked about. From what it appears that there was not an active shooter on campus, even though there were 3 calls that came in. We are waiting to get that officially confirmed. Let me just make that point that they have not come out directly saying this is a hoax, but from what they're telling us, not being able to confirm any shooter, any shootings, any shots being fired, any injuries at 3 different locations on campus, that this appears to not be what we thought it was at 12:30 this afternoon when that first call came in.
Yeah, and of course, as we mentioned, this comes as multiple universities across the country around the same time. We're getting the same reports. Some of those have now been reported to be hoaxes. So no matter what happened, it'll be interesting to see where these calls came from as well.
And I think that's what Joe was trying to get with the public information officer there with Fayetteville Police. And I know the UAPD will be the one that will now take over the official part of this investigation since it did happen on campus. But to help with the initial assessment, you have all those different law enforcement agencies that actually come in to help with an assessment, making sure that there is not an active shooter, making sure that if there is one, that injuries are all taken care of, the faculty and staff are all safe. Now that that initial assessment has been taken care of, it'll fall back now on UAPD to determine exactly that. Where did these calls come from? Did they come from on campus? Did it come from a dorm room on campus? Somewhere off campus?
Somewhere not even
out
in
of
the
the state? Yeah. So, and if it follows the same pattern that has now taken place, 2 campuses today across the country, a couple last week, and now at the UA Fayetteville campus, did it follow the same pattern? And you know, could it be the same person doing this to every campus? Who knows? And I think that's what UAPD will now have to determine. But again, you go back and you talk about the mental aspect of this. You heard the 4 students say that they're not going back to classes today, and they probably won't tomorrow. And if they do, they're not going to go by themselves. So this has obviously had, and as well it should have, a mental aspect of this. It's now, what does this do for students who are just now going to school, freshmen who are just now arriving on campus, including Joe Ellison's daughter, who just was dropped off at the dorm. What is their mental aspect of this now, as far as either staying on campus, going back to class, and how long will it take to where you really feel comfortable in getting back to going to class again?
Especially with school starting at the U of A, just, was it last week? I mean, it was not long ago. And so many parents like Joe, dropping off their kids for the first time, already nervous. You don't want something like this to ever happen, but just the emotional impact from this, even if it was a hoax, it was an unbelievably cruel hoax, because it's horrible.
Yeah, and now you've got all these students wondering the same thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and wrap up our live coverage of this now that we have an update, another update from Fayetteville Police that they cannot confirm, or they have not confirmed any active shooter at all. Now the investigation starts with UAPD in determining where those calls came from. We'll, of course, have live team coverage of this coming up at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and also live updates when we get them, and also a lot of information on our website at 5newsonline.com. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you at 4 o'clock.